Tala Moana, ya filthy exiles, and welcome to my updated overview. That's right, overview and not a build guide. I'll get into that later. So my updated overview of my Mirage Pathfinder Poison build. A lot of things have changed since my last video and I'll get into that straight away. So in terms of progression, I'm now at level 85. I just got my third set of ascendancy points. I can get all my points, but I hate the trials, so I'll probably do that when I feel like I have to, because I freaking hate the trials. I'm doing tier 15, tier 16 maps now, and I've also taken down tier 2 jets with a build that's not fully optimized yet. So we're making a shitload of progress with this build so far. Okay, so before we get into the changes of the build, let's first talk about how the build works in general for anyone that's new to my channel. So I'm playing Pathfinder with Gas Arrow, Plague Bearer, and Mirage Archer basically for clear. Just shoot down gas arrows, 1 or 2 will be enough to fuel up your Plague Bearer. Pop your Plague Bearer on a huge mob, everything just dies with all the poison spreads. If there's a huge mob on the screen with uniques in between, dodge roll, pop out your Mirage Archer, then just go to town with gas arrows, put down your cursors. Since I have toxic growth socketed in the Mirage Archer persistent buff, the pustules just instantly explode immediately they go into our gas, because we're shooting gas whilst the Mirage Archer is out. If you want more details on this, please check out my previous video. That's basically the 101 build. Another thing that's changed for this build is that I have 2 different loadouts. Basically, I have a loadout for clear with Mirage Archer, then I have a loadout for bosses with the use of a companion as a replacement for the Mirage Archer, and I'll talk about later in the video. Okay, so the first major change to the build is I'm now using a unique called the Murkshaft Toxic Quiver. So in terms of stats, first of all, this quiver is trash. It's shit. And the only reason I'm using this is for clear, so it's part of my clear loadout. In terms of stats, the only good stat is we blind every enemy on hit, which is good because blind does reduce enemy evasion rating, so which gives us just a little bit more survivability. But outside of that, this quiver is actual dog shit and I actually don't advise using it. I'm only using it because I find it fun. It's a fun factor thing. So the Murkshaft Toxic Quiver gives us a skill called the Bursting Fern Toad. So this skill has a 25% chance to summon exploding toads when we kill a poisoned enemy, and the multiplier on this skill is huge. Like, these toads hit like a motherfucker, bro. Like the multiplier is actually insane. So just basically gives us a bit more clear, because one of the things that's a downside about poison builds or even dot builds like Essence Drain, Contagion as well, is sometimes enemies can bum rush you like super fast whilst you're ticking away. So that's kind of a downside. So the Bursting Fern Toad just gives us a bit more clear, and I just find it fun, bro. Like, gas all over the place with a bunch of exploding toads, Mirage Archer going insane, like sheesh, it's so fun to me, and that's why I'm using this particular quiver. So again, this is only for clear. Whenever I'm fighting a boss, I always carry an extra quiver in my inventory, which has the stats you basically want on a quiver, right? Plus level to projectile skills, maybe dexterity, crit damage, crit rate, fizz damage. That's what you want on your quiver, and that's why I always pack this in my inventory and instantly swap before facing a boss. So the Bursting Fern Toad is not a great skill either. I think it needs a buff. The frogs need an improvement on AI. They need more range in terms of enemy detection, and they should explode a bit faster as well. I wish there were support gems to support this skill, because it does need some buffs. But when it gets going, oh my days, this is one of the most satisfying feeling in this game. Just a cascade of freaking exploding toads everywhere. It's so freaking fun, and there's so much you can do with this skill as well. In terms of support gems, you can put corrosion there to break armor explosion, so you get like these exploding toads with exploding armor, so you get double explosions with Herald of Ash as well. You can do a lot, and these toads hit hard, so you want to support these toads with basically damage, right? Heft, concentrated area, just any fizz damage stuff or more damage stuff you want on these toads. So this is optional, guys. I just love it because it's fun, but all in all, gas arrow and plague bearer are more than enough to clear mobs on the screen. And you don't even need these toads, because sometimes just everything dies before the toads even get to explode. So this is not optional, this is not mandatory, guys, it's completely optional. Okay, and then moving on to my single target loadout. So for this one, I just turn off the spirit on Mirage Archer, then turn on my companion Harambe, my boy. So basically this is because the companion just gives you way too much all damage shocks plus extra physical damage aura, then combine that all damage shocks with overcharge, which increases the magnitude of the shock by 50%. That's just way too much damage, and honestly I think the companion buffs gives way more than what the Mirage Archer has to offer. Mirage Archer firstly is very difficult to use because when you dodge roll, you always reset the cooldown. When the Mirage Archer is on cooldown and you dodge roll, that always resets the cooldowns. So there are just sometimes when the bosses are like super aggressive and you just don't get to use your Mirage Archer. So very difficult to use, and I just don't think Mirage Archer gives as much damage as well. I explained this in my previous video, right? You get like 16 pastures, 20 pastures if you quality your toxic domain from yours and the Mirage Archers. That's some good damage as well, but the Mirage Archer is very difficult to scale. I think if you look at the skill gem here, it shows it does get some damage from your weapon, but not as much. And stuff like crit, which I'll talk about later, which we are running by the way, we're now a crit build, won't scale with your Mirage Archer. So you lack in crit and just won't do as much damage as you. So that's why I chose to go for companion with single target rather than Mirage Archer. However, when this build is optimized, I will get to a point where I'll run both. I have to find a very cheap companion to run all damage shocks as well as extra physical aura, and run my Mirage Archer alongside that to maximize the damage. So that is the hope of where I want this build to be, but as for now, I think you get a little bit more damage with the companion as compared to Mirage Archer. I do love Mirage Archer though so much, or such a very fun skill, and honestly it doesn't do as bad in boss fights, but like that extra shock and shock magnitude from the companion is just way too good. But this is why I said it's not a build guide yet, guys. I'm still doing so much testing, and when I just reach a point where I'm satisfied, that's why I'll drop everything, the guide, mobilities, and so on so forth. So for single target damage, I have Harambe out with a replaced Quiver, of course, and then for clear I always switch out to my toxic Quiver for those juicy frog explosions. And lastly, the biggest change to the build, we are now running crit, a crit based poison build. So as you can see, I got a new bow with some decent crit, about 4 point something. Like if you want a crit bow with like 5% base to crit chance, decent fees on it, as well as plus level projectile skills, yeah bro, they are super shit expensive, right? Deadeye is not giving us any favors because everyone is playing fucking Deadeye, so bows are super expensive. So yeah, this was a very budget bow, about 20 exalts, so it's alright, right? Not the best thing, but it's okay. I have about 60% crit as of now. If we also use support gems like pinpoint critical, super critical, inevitable critical, we can hit 70, 80, no problem. There are also very different ways in which you can hit crit, such as using the charge regulation spirit gem, which isn't really relevant right now, but it's a way you can actually increase your crit. If you're trying to replicate this and don't have the funds to buy a really good bow, I suggest using the Silver Tongue Zealot's bow. This bow comes with very high base crit, something like about 6+, which is insane. The bow itself is not strong compared to a good rare bow, right? Because you can't get plus to projectile skills on this bow. But like the base phase it has, the base crit it has is super enough. You can hit your cap easily, hit 80, 90 easily with this bow. It's also a very low level unique bow. You can get it at like level 39, which is insane. Very cheap as well, about 1 exalted as of now. So you can replicate this build even with this bow. I'll talk about this later, but there's a content creator called FATBELLY who is actually playing Pathfinder as well. He's not playing Gas Arrow, he is playing Poison Burst, and as of the making of this video, he's beaten all the content in the game. T3 Zest, T3 King in the Mist. I don't know if he's beaten Arbiter yet, and he is using the Zealot's bow as his main weapon, because again, the high base crit bows are super expensive, so Zealot's bow is a good alternative option. Like I said, it's cleared end game as well, so you can't go wrong with this bow. If you look at the tree, I expect out of a lot of things. As I said, I changed to crit, so grabbing all the crit nodes is what I did. This has helped us get up to 60-70 crit or in total. Not really important as of right now because again, build is not done, guys. Build is not maxed. As soon as I'm done, POB will be up in the video. Complete guide on this build will be up, so don't you worry. But as of now, we're going crit, and so far it's been good. Okay boys, so in conclusion, first of all, path of building build guide when. Okay, so first things first, like I said, the build is not done. I'm still working on this, and most of you know that I'm pretty new to Path of Exile 2. I did play PoE 1 last year, made it to Act 3, but other than that, I'm pretty new to this game. So I'm not like the craziest theory crafter, the craziest build guide. I'm still trying to figure this game out on my own. All the builds I'm trying to experiment with are all by my own doing. So until I'm 100% sure on certain things, I won't just put out a guide like that to put out a POB unless I'm done testing. So with that said, if you want a POB guide, I spoke about FATBELLY earlier, FATBELLYW. I will leave a link in the description to his channel because we're basically playing the same build but with different skills. He's playing Poison Burst, I'm playing Gas Arrow, right? I have a companion, I have Mirage Archer, he does not. So the only thing similar to our builds is 1, the equipment, crit build, so the same crit bow, and 2, the tree. It's a crit build, so you're practically using the same nodes in the same tree. So again, check out FATBELLYWW'S channel. He has a POB to this particular guide, same tree again, so you will not go wrong. But other than that, I will update a full guide, full POB when the build is completely done, or when I just basically say I'm done with endgame, I'm pretty tired, and I close the game up. You'll see that build. So all in all, boys, that's my progress with this build. I have been grinding my ass off. Level 85, bro. Sheesh. Game is mad fun. And like, Archer isn't really even my favorite archetype or my best class, but like Poison, Archer, my favorite build so far in this game. I've played Monk. That was the first class I played at launch 1.0. I tried out Witch, I tried out Warrior, I've played Mercenary in my last league, but none of those compared to the satisfaction I get from seeing the enemy's life bar just slowly tick away in a gas of poison while toads come out of that gas and explode. Like, nothing comes close, not even close. So this is my favorite build so far in PoE 2. However, keep in mind, I am a druid main, so in druid lands, I'm going all in on my bear boy. I don't think you'll see any more archer unless I get tired of the druid, but druid is my fantasy, my favorite class. I will be a future druid main, so keep that in mind. Anyone that's new to my channel, do consider subbing because I'll be going ham on some druid content. Anyway, boys, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. If you've made this far, I really appreciate. As you can see, my channel is mostly fighting game based Tekken, but I want PoE to be that main game of my channel because I'll be honest, boys, this is my favorite game of all time and it's just a beta. I fucking love Path of Exile 2, so please do consider subscribing. So to close out this video, I'll leave you guys with my Zest run and Zest kill. GG boys, and take care.